regarding your recent inquiry to get solar on your roof on your house in Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Do you have a second to talk right now?
Yes.
Awesome. So how long have you been looking into solar, Kenneth?
Just kind of basically looking into it. Ever since the last price increase, I don't remember when PG&E raised the prices, but ever since the last increase they put up, but it's just been kind of casual, like asking around, not really, like doing any severe planning, just kind of, I wonder if it would make more sense to switch.
Of course. No, that's exactly what you should be doing, because PG&E is hiking up those rates and they are not stopping just yet, unfortunately. But I'm glad we were able to connect, because I would love to, explain more. If you have some time, we could schedule a virtual consultation so that way I could walk you through what solar exactly means and educate you on what there is to really think about when you're trying to go solar.
Sure. Let me get my calendar open.
Awesome.
Ooh, it's almost Easter. Okay. Well, luckily it's Monday. It's the start of the week. What's your availability for the week?
Okay, so I have a pretty flexible schedule for tomorrow between... Actually, you tell me, what's your availability? I'll work around your schedule.
It's pretty wide open. So do you have anything like either tomorrow afternoon or definitely Wednesday morning, if not tomorrow afternoon?
Okay, tomorrow afternoon I am available before 3 and then after 5:30.
Let's just do after 5:30. Make it much easier.
That sounds great. Okay, let's set something up at 5:30 then. Okay, let's set something up for 5:30. I will send you an email. So if you could give me your email address, that way I could send you a video invitation for Google Meets.
That's much easier. It's just my name, Kenneth.
Okay, Kenneth.
Yes, at UNLV as in Victor, group.com.
Okay, Kenneth at U like umbrella, N like Niagara Falls, L like Larry, V like Victor, .group.
Just group.com.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Group.com.
Yeah.
Awesome, perfect. All right, I'm going to schedule you for the 26th, so which is tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. And in the meantime, so I can actually get a better understanding of the savings that you would get from going solar. You said you're a part of PG&E, right?
Right.
Are you in front of a computer by any chance right now?
Yeah, but my wife has our login for the PG&E portal, like to pull up a bill, for example, or usage statistics.
Oh, okay. Okay, no worries. So I'm going to send you an email with instructions on how to extract something called green button data, which is very important for kind of predicting your cost. So if I'm just going to send you that email. If you can send that to me before 1 o'clock tomorrow, that would be best. A bill and the PG&E data. Do you think that's doable?
Yeah, I just need to get the login data. I didn't know there was other data besides the bill, but the email will have the instructions, so I'll follow those.
Okay, yeah, it'll be easy. You'll be able to follow along, and if you have any questions, you can call me at any time.
Maldives.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and send you this email, and then I'll talk to you tomorrow at 5:30, and I'll look forward to receiving the bill and your PG&E green button data.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, Kenneth. Have a great evening.
You too. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
And I'm doing an investigation on spam and scam calls. We talked the other day about setting up solar. I think we set an appointment to do like a Google Meet or something.
Yes. Sorry, you said your name is Ryan?
My real name is Ryan. I think it was scheduled under Kenneth or something like that.
Yes. Hi.
So, just curious, where you guys got my information from?
Wait, so you're doing an investigation on spam calls?
Right.
Okay, gotcha. So I don't even know where to begin with. This is definitely catching me really off guard.
Yeah.
Who are you working with?
I'm independent. I just have not like a huge newspaper, not a government agency or anything like that. Just out of my own curiosity, because I get unsolicited calls all the time. And so normally people would just like silence unknown callers, or they would answer and be very polite, like, yeah, I'm not interested. But I'm like, well, who's making these calls? Where do they go? You know, like what's going on?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's fascinating that you're doing that, because even I get a lot of spam calls, which is bizarre. And I never know where they get my information from either. But we get our list for solar from people who have submitted information on websites looking for information for solar. So quote unquote Kenneth Bibbins had put his information and his phone number down on some type of website looking into energy savings, then that stuff gets funneled through people like us.
And so is it like a website? Would it hypothetically be your own website or someone else's website who then passes the information on to you?
That is a really good question. I'm not sure. I just work with SunPower. I don't know where they really do all their marketing and curation from. I just get handed a list, and that's where I take it from.
Right. Do you know? You probably don't know. And this is always I've been doing this for months, and I've gone down so many rabbit holes. You have no idea. I hope that I'm happy to, like, you know, if off the clock, not on a company phone, you want to chat, I can tell you what I know, because this is a fascinating thing to do. But usually it always ends up like this. I end up with someone who's just trying to do their job, you know, and so they don't know anything because they're not very high up in the company. They don't really know, or some cases I'll get like a warm transfer, and so obviously they just answered the phone. They have no idea who made their initial call. They're just kind of, it's out of the blue for them too. But I'm wondering who then is responsible for making sure the numbers are not on the do not call list, because my number is on the do not call list, but I still got a phone call. When I say from you, I'm not trying to accuse you of anything. You're just doing your job. But I did get a call from SunPower trying to sell me solar. And I have no idea how my number... Oh, I do know how my number got associated with that person. But anyway. So they just give you like a stack of papers or stack of numbers and say, call these people.
Yeah, they just get put into our system. But that's interesting. So you did look into solar at some point, correct?
So the only times I've ever had solar interactions is I get spam calls from people in India, in Indian call centers, and you can tell because it's very noisy and they have very thick accents. And they're like, are you the homeowner? Is your energy bill more than this, that, and the other? And so on and so forth. And then, you know, you agree that you go through their prompts, and then they'll say, okay, someone will contact you. I've done that multiple times. I had it on one phone number where I had to cancel the phone number because I got so many solar companies calling me. The initial people in India spoof their number, so you can't call them back. But then some people like Solar America, which is actually run by Sunrun, will then either call you directly or pass your number on to whoever they're generating leads for. It's like an onion. There's lots of layers to this. So I personally have never gone in to like a website or anything and filled out information. I'm interested in solar. Here's my name. Here's my number. Here's my address. I've only ever answered the unsolicited calls from India, which again are a violation because they're on the my number's on the do not call list. But of course they're outside the country, so they don't care. And so I know on your end, it looks like I was fully interested, but I've never submitted a form. And so someone is using those call centers to then get the information, to then pass it off to someone else, then pass it off to someone else. And when I try to backtrack, well, when I start with people like you who are like, yeah, I have no idea what's going on, which is fair. You wouldn't, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I wish I had a better idea, because then I would be able to, you know, I mean, I know I do this for a living, and I know that I'm a W-2 employee who just makes phone calls.
Right.
But I also am on the receiving end of those phone calls. But that's fascinating that you are digging into this. Sorry, what did you say your real name was? I just remember Kenneth Bivens. I don't remember your real name.
It's Ryan.
Ryan, okay. Yeah. I honestly, that's really fascinating, and I wish I could help you more, but I can't. But if you need solar, I can help you.
Well, the other thing is, and so that's why I never go into this with the people that I end up with. Like, I never swear at them, and I never talk about their mother. I never do anything, because it's not their fault. You're just trying to do your job, and it would always help if they were able to tell me sort of who. So this morning I was talking to someone from OC Solar, and I was warm transferred to them from somebody called, I think it was Solar America or something like that. But on their notes, it said I was transferred from Clean Energy something or other. And both Solar America and Clean Energy are run by Sunrun. And I tried to, they have a whole privacy policy. They're like, opt out, because California has very strict privacy laws. But like, I ran into dead ends there. Anyway, so what I would hope, because obviously you can't do anything about this, you're just making phone calls. But is there anyone above you? Is there a supervisor? Do you know if the company you work for has a privacy policy or a legal department? Because also phone calls that are unsolicited, like if someone calls you and your number's on a do not call list, you can sue the people who called you. It's $500 per violation or $1,500 if they knowingly call the number that was on the do not call list, in addition to fines they would receive from the FTC or something. That's also part of why I'm doing this, because if I can find out who's responsible, I can get some money out of it. Not from you personally, obviously. I'm not, you wouldn't sue individual employees, but the company would be responsible. But of course, who is SunPower? Like, where are you guys located? Who's the compliance officer? And the only numbers that I have are yours. So
Yeah, no, of course. Honestly, I would have to go and ask around to see who you would even be able to talk to. I don't know. I've never really been in a situation before, so let me go try to find out for you.
Yeah, I'm checking. There are I did check the website out of curiosity. There are privacy statements, but they're like if you're applying to work there. So I can't find one for consumers. Because, I mean, are you guys installers or just lead generators?
Honestly, I am beginning to feel a little like I'm going to have to get back to you on all of this stuff. I don't want to say something incorrect.
Right. You're not representative of the company, and it's hard to. You're my only contact, so you can understand that. I think it's more so after had we hypothetically done a consultation, what would happen then? Had I gone to the meeting, what was it, yesterday that we set up? And like we went through the whole, what happens after that?
Well, my job is just to discover whether solar makes sense for you and your house or not. Because there are many people where solar won't make sense. And then I'll just let them know, hey, like you're actually better off staying with your utility company, which I get a handful of those kinds of consultations as well. And if it did make sense for you and if you were interested, then we would move forward with an on-site visit to make sure that your home is actually eligible and your roof is in a good condition to hold the weight of the solar panels. And then we would go from there.
Yeah, that's how I've seen it done. And actually, what's really, if you have something else to do, please don't let me take up your time, because I know you're fascinated by this, but like you're working right now. So please feel free to just let me go when you've got better things to do. When I started this back in like November, there was one company in LA called Echelon Power. There's so many of you guys in the area. And I got in touch with them again through the Indian call center, and then they called me, and I actually sent them out to that address in Long Beach. And of course they were so upset. They just kept calling me. And so I told them, like, listen, that was an unsolicited call. My number's on a do not call list. You don't respect the do not call list. So I wasted your time. If you don't like it, don't call me. Guess who called me on Monday?
This Monday?
Same. It wasn't you. It was them. Same woman too. The same person who I'm like, listen, I'm just going to waste your time. So leave me alone. She called me again. So
that's crazy.
I think through this, I'm also learning that like solar companies are ruthless. And someone else that I spoke to earlier today was like, well, there's only like 7% of houses in California have solar. So it's a huge market and it's very competitive. And so people aren't really afraid to step on toes and cold call people, on the do not call list and do whatever it takes to get a customer because, and I respect that, everyone likes money. And so that's why, again, I don't yell at people. I don't cuss people out. I don't, but I do.
What do you do for a living, Ken or Ryan?
Research. I have a degree in psychology, so I have a work from home job, which allows me to take these calls. But I do psychological research, so that also gets a bit into this. But it's a lot harder. Again, people spoof phone numbers, and people, might not say who they are, or of course it's layered. Like after you finish the consultation and it works out, and you send someone to the home, is that someone employed by SunPower or a different company? Of course, you don't know, and you can't. And I don't want you to make any statements, that will come back to bite you because you're not a representative of the company. You're not a legal representative of the company. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. But yeah, if you can dig around and see, there is a do not sell my information request form on the SunPower website. But the problem I have is obviously they want like your first name, your street address, your country, all that stuff. And of course your phone number. I think it would work. I just don't know if all the information has to match for them to like find a record because again, it's a real address, but my number is associated with it.
Sorry to cut you off, yeah. Ryan, but I'm sorry. I'm getting another. Mm-hmm. I have to jump off. It's an emergency. I just got a text from my grandfather. Oh, no. I have to go, but good luck with this. If I find something, this is your number 310-707. I can contact you, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you so much. Good luck with this.
Thank you.